Hi, Mr. Haynes. Can you hear me?
Hey, Louis. Yeah, let me get my video on. Is it Louis?
Yep.
All right, man. Thank you for having us.
No, thanks for joining. I really appreciate it and your patience as well.
Definitely. How was your vacation?
Oh, it was much needed. My best friend got married, so I was the best man. So it was fun, but a little stressful at the same time.
Awesome. Awesome. Where'd you go?
Seattle. So literally across the country.
Oh, cool. So where are you at now?
I'm in Winston-Salem right now. So
Oh, cool.
I just got back literally like last night. So I really do appreciate your patience on that.
Definitely.
Before we begin, out of respect, my name is Louis Tran. I'm with Wxii 12 News, and I saw your national event through a GoFundMe, and I thought this was a really cool hyperlocal story, and I just really want to highlight what's going on. So before we begin, does anyone have any questions? Anyone have any concerns? I want to make sure that we address it or can answer before we begin.
Yeah, no questions really. Just really excited about that you saw us and that we can actually talk with you for a little bit to get some exposure. It would have been nice to have some like prep questions, because we're kind of like, what's about to happen? What are we going into? We didn't really have anything to prepare, so kind of just want to know what really is gonna be asked and that kind of thing for the interview. I mean, is this gonna be like a video, that you're putting on the news, like of us talking, or are you just gonna write a report, like a written report? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good question. This will ideally probably be for the news on TV. Our producers who create this show have the final say. So they're the ones that decide if it's going to be included or not. But I can tell you, for the very least, it'll be on our social media pages. So that way you get exposure. Typically, I don't give out questions up beforehand because we want to make it authentic, not memorize the questions because we want to get your thoughts. Questions I ask more like, it won't air on TV, but I like to understand the event. When will it happen? Who, what, where, when, why as well. That won't air on TV. That just helps us write the story accurately. And the questions I ask were about human emotions, like how do you feel? Are you excited? What are your thoughts? What kind of message would you have for other students or people who might be interested as well? So it's more about how you feel. So those questions are, I encourage you to be authentic as possible.
Okay, cool. Sounds awesome.
Awesome. We'll begin right now.
Recording in progress.
I guess, sir, can you start with you? Can you say your first and last name and spell it for me, please?
My name is Cole Haynes, ColeHaynes.
And what's your official title, sir?
I'm the coach of the Tri-City Christian Academy Robo-Revelators.
Sounds good. I'll ask both of you, gentlemen, can you say your first and last name and spell it for me, please? And I guess your title on the team.
You want to go first?
Sure. My name is Prabir Rana, PRABIRRANA, and I'm just one of the members of the Robo-Revelators.
My name is Jonathan Prada, JONATHAN, PRADA. And I'm also just a member. I work on like a lot of the things that we do, especially our project.
And just to clarify really quick, what grades are you both in?
We're both in 8th grade, but our team does have some people in 7th grade and 6th grade.
Sounds good. And sir, back to you, to the coach as well. A few background questions. This will not air on TV. Again, this just helps us get the story accurately. Can be rapid fire. Can you talk about how many people are on your team? How long have you been a coach for? And I guess, how many events did you compete in to get to this national event?
Yeah, so this is actually my first year teaching robotics. It's a brand new program for me. We are at Tri-City Christian Academy. They've had the program for I think over 10 years now, and it's kind of like a partnership with First. First is a huge Lego program where it's taken the world by storm. Really, it's a robotics program where it teaches kids, STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So First is for inspiration and recognition of science and technology. That's what First stands for. So that's the acronym. And so basically this program just brings kids into, STEM and makes them excited about technology and engineering. So we have currently 10 people on our team. that are going to competition. We just went to the regional qualifier, which was here locally in Raleigh, North Carolina. So that's where we placed first in the entire competition. So there's 4 parts to the competition. There's the robot mission, where you're actually programming the robot. Then there's a robot build, where you're actually building the robot. They grade you on that as well. And then there's something called core values, where it's like the mission of the entire program, basically teaching the kids these important core values of the program. Examples are like fun, teamwork, inclusion, innovation, impact, discovery, and all of those have certain things that go along with those as well, right? And then the last part is the innovation project. So the innovation project is, there's always a theme for the year. So the theme for this year was Cargo Connect, and how can we improve traffic? So our idea, well, I'll let the kids explain the idea a little bit more, but what we were trying to solve was traffic congestion. And so that was our innovation project, and our idea was, I'm gonna let the kids talk about that a little bit.
And a few more background questions, sir. I know the students mentioned roughly, but what are the ranges of grade levels within the team, sir?
So the program can actually go anywhere from kindergarten to 12th grade, but we currently have a 6th to 8th grade program, and next year we're going to be bringing in a high school team as well.
And when was the regional event and when's the national event?
The regional event was actually last Sunday, and our national event will be on May 1st in Orlando, Florida.
And when you say last Sunday, was it like a week ago Sunday or?
Yeah, a week ago from last Sunday.
Sounds good. And do you know how many teams competed in the regional event and how many teams will compete on the national event as well?
So there was about 9 teams in the regional event, and there's going to be about 50 in the national event.
Sounds good. And again, I just want to make sure it's accurate. When you're building these robotic engineering items, are they made of Legos or other pieces as well?
Yeah, everything has to be a Lego product. So you can use anything that is Lego, even if it's a Lego rubber band, but it has to be a Lego product. So if there's anything used on the robot that is not a Lego product, it will be disqualified.
And did you have to come up with the idea on the spot, or did your team and other teams have time beforehand to kind of prep for that idea?
You guys want to talk about how we came up with the idea for our project?
Yeah, pretty much what our team kind of came together, and we all decided to do some research on like the big problems on why traffic congestion sort of exists. And then, so we were looking through all these ideas, kind of determining like which ones we thought would work. And then when one of our team members thought of this idea, which is the cat eyes on the road. Those little things, they're like reflectors, so that at nighttime you can see like where the road is. And they thought like if we put lights into those, then we could probably use those to deter cars away from wherever traffic congestion is, and you could just have that organically built into the road.
And so it picks it up within 2 miles. So that was the big idea, was it would maybe save some lives potentially because of people looking on maps on their phone. So you wouldn't have to utilize your phone whatsoever. The road would actually direct you to a safer route based on traffic jams 2 miles ahead.
And just to clarify as well, real quick, and we'll get into your thoughts. The item that you have, is there a name for it? I apologize, I'm not too knowledgeable about this area, but what's the item called? And just want to clarify on that.
Well, so the app that we created is called Cat Maps. So that's the app that we're developing with a Python script.
Got it. And then is this the first time that your school has reached the national event by chance?
This is the first time that we've actually placed in a national event. So for us to win nationals is a huge accomplishment for our school and our team.
All right, let's get into the fun part, your thoughts now, okay? Sir, let's start with you first. First and foremost, you mentioned this is your first year coaching the program as well, and it's the first time that your team has placed, or the school's team has placed in a national event. I mean, when you found out that your team placed, had a chance to go to the national event, how did you feel in that moment?
I can't even begin to tell you how excited we were because it was a surprise during the award ceremony, because right before we had gotten the first place award, they gave us a second runner-up on the core values or one of the projects. So we were like, oh, we didn't make it. But what we didn't know was at the very end, the Champions Award was given to the team that had surpassed on all 4 levels on all of the other, events or whatever. So when we got the Champions Award, we still didn't believe. We were like, wait, what is this Champions Award? And then finally, when we got this trophy and we looked at it and it said first place, that's when it became real to us, and we were just like jumping up and down, so excited. It was such an amazing experience to get first place in that event.
How about both of you gentlemen? When you found out that you are going to the national championship, I mean, how did you feel about that?
Well, it was crazy. When we saw that none of us had gotten any other awards before that, we were kind of disappointed. We were like, next time we'll do better. But then when that slide came up that said Champions Award goes to Robo Revelators, it was just
mayhem.
It was crazy.
Everybody just went crazy.
And how about you, sir?
Yeah, it's just the same. Like, it was just because it was just like our team. I don't know. I didn't, because we placed like 3rd in the like the actual robot thing. So I thought, so whenever they were like giving out all the awards and like we weren't getting any of them, I was like, oh man, like I thought we did well, but I guess like one of the teams surpassed us or something. But then that slide, that, like as Peter was saying, like that slide came up. It was super exciting just to be able to like know, like we were able to do this thing that we had worked like so hard for.
I want to give our viewers more context. Can you talk about, you kind of talked about it briefly, but can you walk us through and talk about how did you come up with this idea, and how did you feel like this would be a great way to address, traffic congestion?
I feel like it would be great because you could be able to know where, places where the traffic was. So instead of having to like go on Google Maps where it has this system to find these things, that might take some time, and by that time you might not have pulled into a different road. So whenever you finally open it up to see that the road you're on has a bunch of traffic buildup, then you're already in it, and you might have to wait like hours just to get out. But that problem is avoided with our system, the cat eyes.
And can you talk about like what really sparked this idea? How did it come to your team's mind? Like, hey, we want to address traffic congestion. Boom! I think this is a great idea. Can you kind of talk about that moment where that idea came from?
You want to go, PJ?
So we all got into pairs and we kept researching what sounded the best for our idea of solving traffic congestion. And this one pair, they came up with this thing called cat eyes, and none of us really